people uncertain to approach people with Tourette syndrome might not know how to react. Often they might get amused or fear that they might be aggrieved to. The involuntary tics works with the harmony with the body note and is really difficult to suppress them, while the involuntary tics are the conscious part of the symptoms. They are hustled to distraction, something that's more assiduous to divert their minds off the symptom. Research shows obliviate the fact that most of those people find other people being reluctant to them in regards to accepting them, or people who are different from them. And however, the recent research was just last year by Scope that about 2/3 of the population in the UK find it uncomfortable to talking to people who are disabled or even working with them for just a little while. At the same time, recent incidents have been made, crimes against disabled people, rage crimes, rape cases. However, we do believe that struggling to work with the people who have these claims and some sort of disability, people will be reluctant to help them, and specifically the children in need, to somehow just adhere their sufficientness for their capacity and their incapability in doing so. However, acknowledging that they are disabled endorses them the barrier that they face, because the collective failure to consider the different dispatch the counterfeit that the barriers will not be undermined. They know that it's not the answer to be ignored by them. To ignore them, however, does not ever cure the symptom. It does not provide a remedy. However, using that, the same reason, the same cause as a long-term process to change their attitude, to change their progress, a long drawn-out process, fully planned, that can nullify the symptom, and people with Tourette's disability, if they are believed, they are taught to believe and are inclined to do so, it can prove a greater impact than any other cure that we can ever come up with. And it often starts out with just a single conversation. As soon as we can make them feel like they are not being endorsed by the different and they are not being indisposed of it, we can as greater appreciate the similarities between these.
Already familiar with the causes of Tourette syndrome, which mostly involves tics as well as swearing. But the fact is, only 10% of people actually suffering from Tourette syndrome have coprolalia. The brains of Tourette sufferers are structured for greater motor control. One of the most prominent setbacks of the disease is the frequent involuntary motions. The parts in the brain called the basal ganglia is associated with greater motor coordination, to which brain training camp or cognitive behavioral therapy and habit reversal therapy could undermine or lessen part of the syndrome. Even the brain camps for Tourette syndrome in the early years. For many, the conditions begin in the adolescent years and continue through the late teens or early 30s. The chemical concentration in the basal ganglia part of the brain is significant in a Tourette sufferer, and they are treated with light medicine and massage therapy or even Botox injections. Something that has a mild severity in regards for side effects, but are sufficient in diminishing the symptoms. Also, treating them with therapies proves to be a better remedy as compared with pharmaceutics or drugs. Besides, one of the reasons that research shows that the best results of the treatment are attained by therapies because it involves distraction, which is antagonistic to the trigger of the disease. The second most reason is that we can preserve and save medicine for later use in cure of the disease or for more severe conditions of Tourette syndrome, because most of the heavy lifting is being done by non-invasive treatment, which are testified to be essential and convinced to be extremely remedial and helping people with the cures.
Now I would like to share some statistics on Tourette syndrome. According to the Tourette Association of America, 1 out of 360 children are diagnosed with Tourette syndrome. It's more commonly found in boys, and 86% of those with Tourette syndrome have an additional disorder. It could be ADHD or OCD, and oftentimes Tourette syndrome is misdiagnosed as ADHD because they have tics and also they're hyperactive. However, there are no Malaysian statistics to be found online or any other sources. This could be because people with Tourette syndrome are not registered, or basically the awareness is not there yet in Malaysia.
most common type of symptom in Tourette syndrome is tics. Tics are described as involuntary movements often occurring in the neck, shoulder, and head areas. They are often described as hiccups, something that you cannot suppress and it has to be let out. When diagnosing patients, the most effective way of diagnosis is by identifying tics. Other than that, the use of MRI scans and CT scans can be used to detect abnormalities in the brain. However, this method may take up to 2 years to confirm the diagnosis. There is no cure for Tourette syndrome, however, it can be treated. Treatments include habit reversal therapy, muscle relaxation therapy, and ERP, which is exposure with response prevention. These treatments help to reduce frequency and severity of tics.
In summation, Tourette syndrome is a neurological disorder that affects many throughout the world. Due to the complex nature of the symptoms and the disorder itself, people with Tourette syndrome may be regarded as different or difficult to work with. Currently, awareness of Tourette syndrome is still severely lacking, especially in Malaysia, where many are undiagnosed or are misdiagnosed due to the lack of local expertise on this subject. Awareness is needed to raise the public's knowledge of Tourette syndrome in order to help people with Tourette syndrome and give them equal chances and equal opportunities to succeed. In the end, we must be open-minded to others who may seem different from us. We should not judge others based on these differences. Rather, we should be patient and accept them for who they are and help them in any way we can.